we talked about that through our week of preparation, just winning our one-on-ones and creating those X plays. Like I told Dave, whether it's 25 yards downfield, on a slot fade, or whether it's just Wayne Knight taking a swing out the backfield and getting the first on a very important 3rd and long, that's something that we stress, just getting the ball in our playmakers' hands.
Just because this is probably the most you've seen you run around since the injury.
Yeah.
How does your knee feel?
Oh, it's good. It's good. All that's good and fine. I just did my job. Just had to keep the defense honest here and there, and that's what I did.
I wanted to ask about 2 of the receivers that you targeted a bit today. Landon gets the touchdown, and then Jaylon has a season high. There's 4 catches. What do you like out of them in the receiving game?
I mean, they're real selfless guys. Like you guys see it. I mean, a whole group will run on, another group will run off, and I mean, those guys, they never lose confidence in me. They never lose confidence in each other, and just that constant communication and being, each other's best hype man is very special.
On that pass to Landon, 2nd and 12,
Yeah.
for 21 yards and the touchdown. What did you see? How did you see it developing?
Yeah, so that was just a backside read of the corner. If that corner attached to the tight end, then I knew I either had Landon one-on-one with the safety or Jaylon on that seam. So the backside corner attached, safety got deep, Landon just went across his face. I could have progressed, to Jaylon on that seam. He was open as well, but I mean, just seeing that, giving Landon a chance, like I said, trying to get the ball in my playmakers' hands.
When you got a big target like Landon, just how much does that play a part in just even having an opportunity to go up and get it like that?
It's really easy because, all I have to do is just put the ball in the vicinity, and, that's the guy that's going to go up and get the ball, just like anybody else in that receiving core.
You guys were moving the ball in the first half and just not finishing drives. So what did it do from a morale standpoint to connect on that touchdown, going into the locker room, 10-10 game? It seemed like that really sparked you all.
Yeah, we just needed one. We just needed one, I take full accountability for, both of those drives. The first one, that's an easy pass protection check that I have to make, hit Mikey Scott or either Nick on the slot fade. And then the other interception, I either have to get the ball out, be more decisive to Pfeiffer, or move on the dip, who was open for a touchdown. But, we never gave up. We continued to fight, and the guys never lost belief in me and each other.
Coach mentioned that your pass to Lakota, that he, kind of ran over some defenders and kept going, was kind of a turning point for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
How much does it help having a tight end that can block like he does, but then also can break out?
Yeah, I mean, Lakota's he's a special type of guy. He's a different type of dude. And, like I told Dave, just his growth from December to now is just light years. Like, I've never seen anything like it in a while. But that's just, who he is. He's a guy who cares not only about, others but himself and the product that he puts on the field. We talk about being grown men with our football stuff, taking accountability and pride in what we do, and that's somebody who does that to the max.
How much more confident do you feel doing your job when you've got 2 guys like Wayne and
Yeah.
Ayo that can run for at least 70 yards?
I mean, it makes it easy on the receivers as well, because now you get free runoffs. Cornerbacks get a little tired. You also get a look as to how they play you. And now when you have that play-action game and those guys went over the top, I mean, you see Jaylon with an amazing catch, Landon. It makes everybody's job easier.
It's been an up-and-down ride for Ayo since he got here.
Yeah.
Just as a teammate, how
Yeah.
what do you think this game means for him?
That's my dog. I know he's happy right now. He's ecstatic, but he knows that there's more to do. That's somebody, he kind of we act alike a little bit in our mannerisms and stuff. And, I respect the crap out of him just because of how he handled himself. Last year, I'm sure he was disappointed. I'm sure there was times he was mad or frustrated even going to the start of this season, but kept his head down, kept working, and that shows, like, how special of a person he is.
With your guys' ability to pass in the first half, it really didn't seem like the run game opened up in the second half.
Yeah.
What were you seeing out of their defense later into the game that allowed you to just kind of keep your foot on the pedal and run the ball a little bit more?
Yeah, they played a lot of man-to-man, and, I mean, even in the first half, the line of scrimmage was being moved. I barely got touched. I might have had, like, one hurry, one pressure, the whole game. I don't really, remember or even try to look at the D-line, but just, the way that they played us in the second half just warranted for us to, run the ball.
First 2 games, I know you did not splitting snaps. Do you feel like with you getting all the snaps today, were you able to stay in a rhythm, or did that help at all, or no impact? Or
I mean, it does have a little impact, just, being able to see passes be caught, get a feel of the game, just reads what they're doing, first down, second down, third down, what's to come next. But, even within that, like I told Dave, I mean, Matt was selfless. He was continuing to giving confidence to, myself, the guys around us. He was a voice that was heard, and, that's something that you appreciate because you don't find that often.
Coach mentioned today that you guys, you weren't finding yourselves in too many third and long situations.
Yeah.
Where you guys were staying ahead of the sticks. How much does that help when you're, in the pocket or even breaking out for a run when you aren't looking at those third and long situations?
Yeah, I mean that's critical. I'm sure he has some stat or some percentage about the how scoring drives in depending on how many third and whatevers you get into. But that's something that we emphasize. Going into third and manageable, and even if it is third and for long, third and forever, just managing that window. I mean, just like Wayne on that third and whatever 13, just taking that swing for a first down. That's huge.
Just because it's been an issue in the past, like how do you feel like you developed you guys on third and long, balancing, changing protections over
Yeah.
the past few seasons?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that comes with film study and just experience. There's some things that you just see and feel that's just different. I just call it like an unconscious state. I mean, this guy should get to this landmark or this landmark. It doesn't matter the team or the scheme is. It really helps.
Especially as the game went on.
It felt really good, like you said, it's been a long time, so just getting the opportunity to just go out there and help the team win, it just feels great. That's what I'm most proud of today.
It seemed maybe you guys had a little bit of a slower start on offense, but it did seem to start clicking as the game went on. What were you guys able to do to help you settle in and just kind of play your own brand?
I think just stay focused and not get too down on ourselves. The big thing coming into this year was finishing strong. Last year I feel like we started strong, but we didn't finish strong, and so that was like the big emphasis on this year. And so I think we did that in the second half, finished really strong.
You talk about finishing. How big was it to finish at the end of the first half that drive, and how much did that carry over into the second half?
It was really important. In the second half, we saw that it was probably best to lean on our run game, and so being able to, as a running back, like you love hearing stuff like that, and so hearing that adjustment at halftime, we were just really excited to go out there and just show what we can do in that running back room.
Is this kind of what you guys imagined, like your power running game would look like, the way you guys performed in the second half?
100%, yeah. Like I said, like our room is very deep, and so whenever we can go out there and just show it to the world, like we're excited.
And you and Alonza both dealt with injuries last season. How did it feel for you as a teammate to see him rush for 2 touchdowns?
It felt amazing, Like I said, like he's a pro, and seeing how he handled himself, like I'm not surprised seeing what he did. That's just how he is, and so very, very happy for him.
I know you're talking about the depth of the running back room, but what were you seeing or maybe not seeing from Liberty's defense that kind of allowed you guys to have this production on the ground?
I think we were really prepared throughout the week, seeing what they were going to do and stuff like that. And so, honestly, all we had to do was really settle in and just focus on ourselves, and we did that second half.
Any other questions for Ayo? All right, thanks, Ayo.
Thank you, guys.
Just do our job. Some guys misaligned in the first half, and we were just being able to stop them with effort and attitude. That's what we talk about in our defense a lot. And so we just had to pick up the assignment and the alignment. You know what I'm saying? We were already playing with the effort, and once we, got the guys in the right place at the right time, it started to pan out better.
What happens in the game plan and kind of the in-game adjustments when all of a sudden it is fast go out and they're throwing with 2 different guys back at quarterback?
Simplified pass routes, obviously, more leaning on a more run and option game, stuff like that. But, they started throwing multiple guys in there, and they had a runner and a dude who sort of kind of passed him more, kind of get used to that at practice, playing with multiple quarterbacks. So it wasn't nothing new that we weren't used for.
How much can it help seeing it in the game from a different opponent, too, as you go in later in the season?
Good. They run a gimmicky type of offense that you're not really going to see a whole lot out of everybody. So the preparation was different, more so than many other games. It was they throw a whole lot of eye candy. It was more so being disciplined with your first step and with your eyes, more so than the other teams that we've been playing. So it was good to get that game early, just in case you get another team who steals stuff from them, which they will. Copycat game.
I know you were recruited by Liberty, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What does this win kind of do for you and some of the other guys? What does it mean for you guys that playing Virginia in high school? And what do you think this win does for this program?
Yeah, it felt good. I wasn't really aware of the Blue Ridge Bowl, prior to this game, but I guess the hype, built the game up, so it felt good. Trophy was big and heavy, it felt good to hoist that. And then it was guys on the other side of the ball that I grew up playing ball with. I grew up playing not just football, but baseball, basketball, all types. I know they moms and stuff like that, so it was good to just be out there, with some hometown friends.
sacks tonight after what's been an up and down career for him.
That's my boy. You know, one thing about AG, he keeps getting better every day. We were talking about him. I was sitting down after practice with Big Pat and Big Joe, both our tackles, and we were talking. Yeah, AG. It's almost like he getting better every day. It's like he's thawing out, like he's Captain America or something. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't played ball in a couple of years, and you know, you can see he got himself together, got his hands and feet right, and I'm glad to see he's putting it all together now.
Any other questions for Trent?
I think I saw your family here today, like wearing your jersey.
Oh yeah.
What was it like to have a good game in front of them?
I mean, my family is my rock, man. You know, they come to every home game for sure, every VA game, every game they can make it to. You know, they're going to fly out to a couple games, my mom and my sis. Pop's not making a trip for those, but, you know, that's my biggest support staff. You know, those are my why. That's why I get up and put these pads on every single day. I love to see my mom cheer. I love to see them in the fam chat after the game talking about congratulations, baby, love you, this, that, and the third. Seeing them after the game, I always make sure to wave to them before the game when they're in the crowd. So, you know, that's what I get up and do it for.
I mean, it felt great. I mean, we played really well together. Started off a little rocky in the beginning, and then fixed it up and played really strong. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to come here and play our football.
You had a sack in the first half, which obviously changed the direction of that game a little bit. How did you see their offense change once Vasco was out?
Yeah, I mean, they tried similar stuff. A lot of QB runs that we had to stay on top of. We had to work on contained rushing, not just running up the field so that he can scramble out. So that was one of our big points. Regardless of who was at QB, they're all good athletes.
Just for you personally, what did it mean to be on the field, out of the game for so long, and to get that first sack? How does it feel to get that out of the way for you?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. At the end of the day, we're still building. This is one game that we got, and we still got a lot more games to go. So I hope that I keep on with that production, and it's going to be great. I appreciate it.
When Vasco leaves the game at the end of the first half, how much did that change the game plan going into the second half, knowing they were going to bring a different look?
Yeah, well, so we didn't really know what was happening. We knew he came off the field. We didn't know exactly what he was injured, how injured he was. So we were just playing our game. At the end of the day, it's on us. So if we play our best football, nobody can beat us.
You guys seemed to settle in a little bit as the game went on and stop their rush attack a little bit more. What changes did you guys make at the halftime to just kind of play a little more sound?
Yeah, I mean, just doing our job at the end of the day. There were some plays where I was like out of my gap, not doing exactly what I needed to do on certain plays. So just honing in on what we had to do. At the end of the day, like they have 10% of what they have the 10% action. We have 90% of the reaction. So whatever they do, we have to be able to react to it and react to it correctly. So that's all we had to do.
What did the staff kind of tell you guys? It seemed like you guys really amped up to begin the game, like you said, missing some scrambling gaps for Vasco. What did they kind of tell you guys to help you guys get honed in and not lose your gaps?
Yeah, you know, I mean, we're a really competitive group. So the coaches obviously were getting on us, but we knew that we had to do that. We knew we had to fix that in ourselves. So it wasn't necessarily like what they said. Obviously, they were hyping us up and getting us ready to go, but we just knew what we had to do. We knew what we were doing wrong.
Where do you think the confidence level is at for you guys as a front seven right
Yeah, we're always super confident. At the end of the day, if we play our best football, we can win a lot of games. So we're really confident. I'm great. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.